Oh, right. Yeah. All right. Well, you got a full dance card that day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cavaliers are at home tonight to play Joe Dumars and the Detroit Pistons at 7 o'clock.
No.
I'm sorry?
Joe Dumars is retired.
Isaiah Thomas.
He plays for a different team.
Detroit. I'm sorry?
Isaiah Thomas, there's two. There's the one that...
Well, only one of them played for the Detroit Pistons.
Right, and he's
Bill.
long retired.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Like 30 years.
Chauncey Billups and the Detroit Pistons. They got Blake Griffin now.
Yeah.
Yes, there you go.
I think they're they got Derrick Rose.
They do have D Rose, don't they? Yeah, I'll tell you what. I stopped paying attention to Derrick Rose, and then I guess he had some amazing game before the holidays, like a buzzer beater or something.
Yeah.
And the guy walks around now looking like a homeless guy, and I just don't pay attention to him that much anymore.
He's built his career back up as best he can, considering the injuries he's gone through.
Yeah.
But I was watching some of those like best dunks of the decade or best plays of the decade, and he had some of the most amazing plays. Young Derrick Rose, before his knee injuries, was incredible.
Yeah.
Like, there was nobody that moved like him.
It was great.
Yeah.
So, Cavs, Pistons tonight at the Romo Fijo. That's a 7 o'clock tip here on WMMS. And so your pregame coverage will begin when we get out of here around 6:30. I noticed that yesterday was National Bean Day.
Ooh, beans.
And so today is National Pass Gas Day. As it is traditionally a Taco Tuesday, shouldn't be too difficult. But again, I don't, if you work for the, I don't know, pick an industry. Let's say you work for the soybean lobbyists. You understand where National Soybean Day comes from, right? You understand if there's some organization that pays to have a day designated. I don't know who is in charge of National Pass Gas Day, but they said that it's today.
Same people.
The same people? The soybean,
They're in cahoots.
but I don't think soybeans make you do that. Do
Well,
they?
I don't eat a lot of beans.
In cahoots.
You don't eat a lot of beans? Legumes?
I like edamame, but like I don't eat pinto beans or black beans or anything like that. I don't really.
Nothing like that.
I don't like it's like gritty almost, the texture of them.
What about chili? You don't like chili?
In chili, it's okay, but I don't get them on like burritos or anything like that.
Huh. Okay.
Rice and beans, I don't prefer it as a side.
You don't like frijoles negros?
No.
Oh. All right.
Not a bean
Well, there
fan.
you go.
I like green beans.
So you like some beans, just
They're
not.
just different,
you
not
just don't
black
like
or
Mexican
pinto.
beans.
Probably.
French
And
cut.
French cut, love French cut.
Yeah, sure.
Love a good French cut bean.
Alan House, see, listen. I told the story yesterday. I was at a bachelor party over the weekend. My wife's cousin is getting married, and so it was a lot of her family. And her cousin said to me, "How's Pot Pie doing?" And Pot Pie has started to take off a little bit with the audience, and I kind of want to nip it in the bud because he's suffered so much under Poundcake that I don't want him to suffer. And listen, in the grand scheme of things, as far as dopey radio names go, Poundcake's not the worst thing that could ever happen to you.
No.
Right?
There's Popeye, though.
There's Popeye.
Popeye's not either.
Popeye's
but
not too bad.
he has already branded himself
It's Poundcake.
the whole Poundcake mystique, right? Correct.
It's sexual. It's more fitting to his personality, I think, than Popeye.
If you know the origins of it.
Sure.
Nevertheless, I think of friends of mine who are still in radio, but they work at theme stations where you can't use your own name. Ooh. I'll give you an example. When I was on in the Pittsburgh market for many years, right, they have a radio station called Froggy.
Hey!
Froggy 92.
Yeah.
It's a country format. It's on a couple of different frequencies so they can have greater coverage.
I listen to them when I drive through there.
Do you? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think they've got a handful of them. They're in Scranton. They're all throughout Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
I think the company that owns these radio stations, and they've got different jocks on all of them. But they make their jocks take amphibious air names.
Man.
Oh.
And if you are someone...
Sneaky Sal.
Oh, no.
No.
You wish you were Sneaky Sal.
No, Snaky.
Oh, I've got a buddy who has been working in the Pittsburgh market for decades, right? Mm-hmm. And he is doing mornings at one of these Froggy stations, and he has to go by James Pond.
Oh, I get it. Okay. It doesn't have to be like a...
That sucks if you've got decades of name equity in the market. If you were to say, I'm James Pond, they'd go, oh. if he was to tell them his real name, they'd go, "Oh my God, I know who you are." That would really suck if you were in a position where you're like, "Well, I got to have a job. I've worked at every other radio station in the market. I got to go to this one, but they want me to go by James Pond. Can't even use your name that people know you by."
What would yours be? I'm gonna go.
Mine? I have no clue.
An amphibian-themed one?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Lilypad.
Oh, good one.
Yeah, they had traffic girls. Lilypad, the girl that does mornings at one of their other stations, goes by Alligator. Like it's the
I hate it.
The
I'm not
midday
gonna
guy
lie.
is David Hopperfield. I'm like, that would suck.
I'm Cody Ribbit.
Suck.
Cody
Ribbit.
Like you need the job, right? You got to stay on the air, and they're like, well,
Could he be Coxadile?
You gotta
Coxadile.
you gotta fit into the theme. If it ever gets to that point for me in showbiz, I'm out.
Just quit.
I'm out. Right?
Yeah.
You're just playing records anyway at those stations. So, yeah, but I just feel bad for those people. It's like, you've built up some equity in the business with your name.
Croak and Cox. Oh,
Yeah.
that's even hard to say.
But even that, like, I'm using my real name, right?
Yeah.
There's no confusion as to what's going on. These guys are like, oh, well, my name's James Pond, or you may know me as James Pond, Here's my real name, and that's the one they know you by. So Poundcake is not the worst thing that could happen to
I'm
anybody.
struggling to think of other amphibians. Frogs.
Oh, they had
toads.
Amphibian was one of the girls that was over there. This station's been around a long time,
Yeah.
and anyone who's come through those halls, they get, and some of the people, I think David Hopperfield has been there for 35 years. So by that time, you might as well just legally change your name to David Hopperfield.
Hell no.
No.
That's how anyone knows you. If that's how you're publicly known, just change your... What, for 30 years you're going to go, well, my name's Frank Kowalski, but you know me as David Hopperfield. And they go, oh, yeah.
Well, just when he's out in
David.
public, he goes, like, if he's doing an event, he's like, hey, everybody, I'm David Hopperfield. But then he actually gets to live a private life
goes to the
where
bank.
he's Frank Kowalski.
You don't like to hide behind like a DJ name? Like you don't like the anonymity of like a DJ name, Alan?
You don't want anonymity. You're not doing this job for
No,
anonymity.
no, no. I'm not talking about like on air. Like obviously you want people to know who you are, but like when you live a private life, you never thought about having like because people obviously don't know me as Poundcake in my private life. So I mean,
But they do. They do. Everybody in your family and friends know you're Poundcake. Now, that's not a name you would legally change your name to, right? You wouldn't change your name to Poundcake.
But if you did,
But like
That'd be fun.
in the beginning days of my career, I was like, I'm not going to take an air name because it felt ridiculous to me. Well,
like comics with
my
stage
name's
names.
this, but you know me as whatever, I
Yeah.
mean, so it just
I get
felt
it.
really weird to me.
I get it when you have a name that is hard to go by.
Right.
Like if you have
Hard
like
to pronounce or it's
a crazy
long.
last name.
Yes.
Like Erica
Yeah.
went by her middle name instead of her last name because her last
was
name
long.
was a lot of letters.
Right.
A lot of consonants.
There was a girl I went to college with. She was an aspiring actress, and I only knew her by her stage name. I had no idea that it was a stage name. And so one day, I think it was graduation. She walked across the stage, and it was like such and such. I was like, "Who's that?" I was like, "I know that's the girl I went to school with, but that wasn't her name, and I had no idea." But
And again, I understand taking the stage name because sometimes if you're in SAG, you have to take a name because, like, they're Michael J. Fox, right? His name is Michael A. Fox, but somebody else had that name in SAG already, so he just made himself Michael J. Fox.
One thing that bothers me though is when someone knows someone's like real name and they won't, like, people do this with Charlie all the time. Chocolate Charlie on Rover.
They always
or
wanna
Rover
be
even
snide
they'll be
about it.
like, oh yeah, I've known Mike for a long time.
Yep.
Like who?
Wait,
Call him
what?
Charlie. Everybody calls him Charlie. Nobody calls him Mike.
I call him
Toomey.
Mike.
Well, you're
Kind of like if I see him in the hall.
it's the same thing with Doogie. He calls
like, I
her
don't-
Susie.
Yeah,
You do, because you're that guy. Everyone hates
You're
you.
who
because
I'm
of that.
talking
okay,
about.
fine. What do you want me to say? I mean,
He's the worst type of person. Like, you know me.
There's no red. I get what you're saying. I'm just saying there's no red light over your head, right? It's
Yeah.
like I work with you. I know who you. It's fine. It's okay. I'm not opposed to it. Just not. That's not how I think.
But it was funny when I found out.
Salamander, of course. People are saying that would be
I'm
my
like,
name.
I can't
yes.
think of any.
When I
You're
became
right.
with my friend. who-
Poundcake would be Toady Brown.
Hey, that's really
Hey,
good.
that's really
Uh-huh.
Geico. Oh no, Gecko, not a
Tadpole.
Geico. What the hell?
That's
See, I'm the
another one.
worst.
Geico.
Geico. 'Cause he-
Progressive.
Yeah, I'm progressive over here.
Alan, you're forgetting Pond Cake.
Oh,
yeah, there you
Allstate.
go. There you go.
I'll be
Pond
Allstate.
Cake. All right, I got $1,000 to give to you. 30 past every hour, a chance for you to go fund yourself. Good luck.
Hey, it's Rover. Go fund yourself. We have your shot at $1,000 now. Text the nationwide keyword SAVE to the number 200-200. You'll get a text confirming entry plus iHeartRadio info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's SAVE to 200-200. Good luck and go fund yourself from 100.7 WMMS.
I mean, I assume I'd be Alan Cox.
Also, Alan,
So that's a good one.
Yes.
you're lucky you have a good regular name. Like
I don't have a good regular.
Alan-
You think I want to use Cox my whole
But
life?
Our
Alan Cox-
YouTube videos get flagged every day because of his dumb name.
That's what I'm saying.
But
I take it as a point of great personal pride that it ever bowed to the pressure to use some dumb name.
it's hella regular to have Cody Brown. Like no one would think twice about a Cody Brown, especially in radio. So I mean, if they do think that Cody Brown is a good name, they think I'm doing like NPR or something.
right, but so, I mean, what are you gonna,
It's boring, but a stage name or a DJ name is a way to spruce yourself up and reinvent yourself.
I hate it.
He does love coming up with names, though.
yeah,
that's-
there's
but it's
there's
at the
nobody
same
that hates.
time-
There's nobody that hates his own name more than Poundcake. Like Poundcake, he's got
thought
all
about
sorts.
this.
Yeah, you have so many
I
different.
thought about going by
names.
Darce Fletcher, but
As
what? Darce?
Darth Fletcher.
Darce.
What's Darce?
Darce Fletcher. No, it's just
D-A-R-C-E?
It was just an alter ego I came up with.
Darce Fletcher. Mm-hmm. Huh. Yeah, but that's the thing, too, is I knew a lot of guys in radio. Boy, they had a cool name. They were no good on the air.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they
it
had no
doesn't matter.
personality. Like, your name can't do all the heavy lifting.
Well, it's the same thing with comedians. Whenever I see a flyer that has comedians and none of them are using an actual, it's like Lil Ha-Ha. And I'm like, I can't, I'm not going to see your performance.
Especially since you want big ha-has.
Right, no,
you don't want
it's
lil
just-
ha-has.
It's just,
You don't want MC Chuckle.
I don't, well, that's
You
what I'm
want
saying.
Captain
Things like
Guffaw.
that. That's like, yeah. There's a real person.
You want
actually maybe
MC
shouldn't
Side
see there.
Splitter.
Things like that, but it's just like, I'm not going to take you seriously.
His name is Les Giggle.
Yeah. I want to say the one guy's name because it's so ridiculous, but I don't even know if
Earthquake?
he's still a comedian anymore, to be
Oh,
honest with you.
all right.
I don't even think my pen
Speaking of
works.
animals, I don't know if you've been watching any of the photos emerging from Australia.
I don't want to. I'll cry.
And they're all like, there's no filter on these photos. It's all red because they've got huge, huge wildfires there in Australia.
Yeah, that stuff's crazy.
It's insane.
Like
And I was-
500 million animals have died.
I was reading that.
Are they counting
There's
all the
simply
ants?
no, but
they're
there's
probably,
no.
well, they're counting probably everything that lives in that ecosystem.
How could you possibly quantify that?
Well, if they know this certain species is based in that area, and there's whatever,
I don't think
500,000 of those left or whatever.
I don't think anybody knows how many of any are left. It's like people go, "Oh, we thought this was extinct, and then we found one."
Right.
Like, okay, well, you don't know everything that's in there, but yeah, that's the figure that's going around. 500 million animals are now dead.
But they're not
because
they're-
of the Australia. 500 million, 500 million animals
well, you gotta
are
think.
dead.
I don't know what's indigenous to Australia, but are they counting like spiders
Kangaroos
and stuff?
and
Yeah.
koalas.
But that's what everybody
Are
thinks.
they- yeah,
it's
they
not
counting the
half
insects,
right.
yeah.
It's not 500 million kangaroos. It's like
I know
they have
that,
those
but-
big old spiders that live there, and like
the
do they have
tarantulas.
forests, like
Yes,
jungles.
I'm sure they have.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like frogs and things that
Yeah.
live, birds.
The outback. It's,
yeah,
it's nature.
I do have to
foxes.
call out people just because when the stupid clock tower in France got burned down, everyone was raising money, and
the
then
clock tower.
The
You mean
big
the
clock
Notre
tower.
Dame Cathedral.
whatever stupid clock tower.
Big Ben in
And-
France.
There's no clock. You're thinking of Big Ben, which is not in France.
Okay, well the cathedral.
You don't even know what you're mad at.
No, but everyone was raising money for that, and then when Australia is the entire country is burning, and everyone's just like, oh well, it's on my Twitter feed. So what? We have we
Hey,
have fires in
I
Calabasas.
hate to break it to you. Australia is a fantastic cautionary tale. That is a country that has greased up and grabbed ankle for the fossil fuel industry. No matter what political party you were running for in that country, they turned a blind eye to climate change for decades, and now you're seeing what's happening there. So in many, many ways, Australia did it to themselves by ignoring what all the rubes here want to ignore. So take a look at your future. And we're not, 3/4 of that country is uninhabited. But I don't know how they arrive at 500 million animals. It could be right. They could be absolutely right. It could be more
And I
than
think
that.
they're
I'm just
counting
curious how they arrived
every
at
mouse,
that.
every rat, every little.
That's what I'm saying. That's what
all
I'm
these
saying.
little-
It's got to be all the little stuff too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But how did they know that? They don't
But
know how
they're
many
trying-
mice are in a square.
Estimate.
They know that
Estimate.
people People automatically think koala. Oh, koalas are so cute. No, they just killed 500 million koalas.
No. Nobody thinks. Everybody knows that they're going with all of the small animals. I'm saying the big ones are easy to count. So 15.5 million acres have burned in Australia, right? The whole country is on fire. I'm just curious how they arrived, because I think it's more clickbait than anything else. They're trying to get people to pay attention.
Well,
To Poundcake's point, kind of. They're trying to get people to pay attention.
Because
Only 24 people have died.
I feel like people are going to start donating more once it's all done. But like, you're not going to throw money at a fire that's still burning. You got to wait till it's all
You
settled.
should throw water at it.
Oh, I see. You want to wait till they know precisely what the damage
How
is,
much
and
do I
then
have to
start giving
give?
them money.
Yeah.
I understand. I saw one of the actresses from Orange Is the New Black turned in her green card or something that she had here. She's Australian, and she's like, I'm going to go home, and I'm going to stay there, and I'm going to be with my people, blah, blah. Like Russell Crowe didn't go to the Golden Globes because he's Australian, and these people are trying to show solidarity to their
What do they
their
do?
country people.
Just to be there?
I guess, yeah, I don't know. I think it's probably
Emotional
it's probably
support?
emotional and probably partly PR. If Russell Crowe is at the Golden Globes and his home country's on fire, I thought he was from New Zealand, but I guess not. That probably wouldn't look good.
The Hemsworth brothers are all raising money. They got enough money.
Yeah, Chris Hemsworth donated
wrote $1 million check.
Yeah.
Good for him.
There's a Instagram model that is selling nudes to help.
I saw that,
Are you
and she was
serious?
like, my boyfriend is not talking to me anymore. My family disowned me, but it's worth it for Australia. I wish the fire just had like a track, and it just after the fire was done, it just said send nudes.
Take a look at my
In the
pouch to
ash.
save the kangaroos. Gross.
Whatever.
I know. Do what you got to do.
Desperate times calls for desperate measures.
Yeah, Mary, you could be doing more. Sell some nudes.
Yeah,
Save
sell some
Australia.
No one's gonna buy my nudes. It's not gonna make any impact.
Sell some
I'm gonna
socks and
I'm
some
gonna
undies.
raise $233, and people be like,
Every
If you sell
bit
them for a penny a
counts.
piece.
right. Whatever.
Don't use that. Nobody would want my nudes as a cop out.
Please don't
You
go to
try
my
it.
Instagram and tell me how bad you want my news. I don't want. I tweeted something about that the other day. I had the
Don't go to
stomach flu.
Don't go to her
Felt all
Instagram. Go to marysantora.com and tell her how much you want nudes for Australia.
No.
Is there a
Right?
message
I'm not
board there?
selling nudes for
Can
Australia.
it send you a message from your website?
I'm not from Australia.
So?
If Berea,
It's
Ohio,
one
were on
planet,
fire,
Mary.
if Berea,
We're all
Ohio,
brothers
were on
and
fire,
sisters.
I'd sell
We're
my nudes
all
for
in
it.
this together. Call it Showalla for the koala.
No way.
Show all up for the koala.
Are you sure you don't want to do that? All right. Show your poo for the kangaroos?
No.
Okay.
Want to see the land down under?
And down under.
There you go. Mary's land down under. Check out the bush. There's a bush fire. All right, I'm just saying, we are clearly giving you multiple ways that you can help, and you're turning two blind eyes to this international crisis, this day
Right.
of mourning. Alan, I'd pay $40 for a nude. Are you talking to me, or
Yes,
are
to
you
you,
talking
Alan.
to Mary?
So why don't you sell your nudes for?
I will.
Australia.
I'm happy to. What makes you think I haven't already? I've already generated a sizable check that I'm sending off to Australia. Money that I have gleaned from selling my nudes.
What size? Is it like a shoe size, like 8 or 9?
I'm not at
or-
liberty to what size is the photo, or what size is the subject of the photo?
What size is the check?
What size is it? And is it?
It's a 4x6.
And why would this check be a shoe size?
I was saying that's how many he sold. He only sold $9 worth. It was a joke.
A shoe size, yeah. It's a 42 long. Anyway. But yes, a lot of women are doing that. They're sending nudes. A lot of these
If I'm
platforms.
going to sell my nudes,
are
I'm
shutting
keeping the
them
money.
down.
If I'm going to sell my body in that way, I'm keeping that money.
You're keeping that money.
Yes.
Okay. So
How much you charging?
You don't. So you don't have an altruistic sense.
$50,000 per picture, and it's only of my elbow.
Of,
But no clothes on the elbow.
so you went
I
from
will pull my shirt up so the elbow is exposed.
do that thing where the crease of the
and
arm looks like
I can't
cleavage.
just give it away now,
It's like butt
otherwise on
cleavage?
the live stream. But
You could do the thing with your elbow where you put a tiny
a little bra on it.
yeah bikini bottom on it.
Yeah, for
Yep.
sure. Draw a little thong on there.
Well, it's just something to think about as I go to break. I know that you'll immediately cast this from your mind,
Right.
but that's okay. You don't care about your fellow man,
Sure.
and I will continue to pretend to. So it's all good. All right, 35192. If you want to text, AlanCoxShow.com, you can hit us up there.
The Alan Cox Show on one.